I thought I'd do something a little different. We're living in different times. And I actually, the first upload day of the month, first Friday of the month, is usually when I do either a paranormal video or an abandoned location video. And I do have a couple. But I thought, since we're all in this situation that we're in right now with lockdowns and a lot of people cooped up at home, and I figure a lot of creators are kind of scratching for some kind of content, I would do something. It's not really a challenge. It's more of an invitation to steal this idea. What I thought I'd do is just kind of, my lucky number is 12, or my favorite number. Blame Roger Staubach for that. I thought, well, I'll look and see what the 12th most viewed video I have is, and I'll do just kind of a little running commentary. I'll revisit that video. And as it turned out, the 12th one's actually a really good one for me to do that with. If you want to pick the 12th one, or if you want to do a different one, whatever. It's not like this is a unique idea. I think James the Fam has gone back and looked at some of his older videos. This just struck me. It's what this is kind of like. It's kind of like the DVD extras, the DVD commentaries, when they have like the director or the actors talking about them. You can put that on and you hear them talking about the movie. It's kind of like that. I'm just going to go over my 12th most viewed video, which happens to be the abandoned house in Spanish Fort. I don't know if this is a good idea or not. Okay, let me put that out there too. Let's go ahead and start this. This abandoned house in Spanish Fort, Texas. It was originally uploaded in April of 2018. I'm going to start off with this Pickle, who is on about his 940th channel name. I believe he was world's craziest trucker failed. You can tell this is old. That's an old intro there. That's back before I was even doing the separate. This is another one of those awesome houses I've driven by countless times out near Spanish Fort Cemetery. And we decided we'll just go ahead and stop and take a look. And here with Whatthe Paranormal, and of course world's craziest trucker, aka Pickle. I thought I'd just let myself explain that. It is a house that I've driven by a lot. Always thought it was a cool looking house. It's still standing, or 2 years later. Last time I drove by out there, it looked like maybe part of the roof had come in. It had come down a little bit more. Which are, as you can see, the roof and the ceiling in this place is not in great shape, especially there in the living room. Having some trouble with water on my lens. I just made that worse. Get the volume up a little bit. There's Amy and Layne arguing. That's nothing, nothing there either. But they argue all the time. But they always 9 times out of 10 it ends with them laughing at each other. So.
Yeah, there's a lot of damage to the floors in here. Of course, this is, I know.
It was kind of neat to see the inside, but it was kind of disappointing at the same time because we're pretty limited to where you could go because the floor and everything was in such bad shape.
So we may have to go through here one at a time. No more room than.
And this was a couple of years ago when.
Knocking on something just then?
I don't know if I caught that. We heard knocking in there. This was not a paranormal investigation, but we did hear some knocking and stuff, and we did check that out a little bit. But this was back when Pickle came into town, and We did
we can go
I think about
into the room
3 or 4
and talk
videos
about
with Pickle.
So I know this house has been abandoned for a really long time.
You can see that light there. Just most of the ceiling's gone, but the light's still there.
Probably the only idiots that have been in this house in quite a long time. Looks like that might have been a sink at one time.
A sink at one is still a sink. I don't know what I meant by that, but still a sink is just not hooked up to anything anymore.
But then you get in here and it's like you can't really even get anywhere.
And of course, over here you can see that whole wall is basically down. When we went into the backyard here in a minute, Amy took off. Basically, you know, staying next to the house and pushing her way through all those trees and brush, and of course, like idiots, we just followed her, and we didn't realize until later that all we had to do is go off to the left a little farther, and we could have just walked around instead of pushing our way through all that brush and stuff. We get another knock here in a second that I didn't hear at the time. We can listen for that.
Right here seems to be the sturdiest part of the
I guess it already passed, but there was another knock there that.
Doesn't look like there's a whole lot to see.
And of course, Amy and Layne having trouble. They weren't able to record anything.
Another screen door. The side of the house is out over there.
They're having trouble with their equipment.
Looks like that's about it.
And that's kind of weird. It's like half of that room was actually looked fairly decent, and then on that side,
A little bit of a downer for me. I always thought, oh, that house looks so cool. And then, nope.
there's no way we could have gone in there at night. We wouldn't mind going back. Of course, I don't know. It may be. It's probably even more dangerous now, but. Of course, we get somebody driving by.
Always wondered if somebody, oh, we're messing around your house down there.
That porch was rather difficult. Okay, now Laney's hoodie. She's wearing a Texas Longhorns hoodie. That was actually my hoodie, and I bought that at one time because I think I'd gone somewhere, and probably a hockey game or something, and wasn't thinking, oh, I need a jacket. So I just stopped at the dollar store, and they had those. And it's a pullover, and I don't like pullovers. I like the one with the zipper, and get it on and off a little easier. And she needed a hoodie, so that'd been hanging in my closet for at least a year at that point. And I gave it to her. That was the first day she wore it, and I think it might be the last day she wore it. Which you'll see why here in a little bit. So we went back in there to check out, see if maybe there were we could get another response from the knocks. Or
There's somebody here?
Is anybody here with this?
Can you knock again?
so I don't know where she found these. I see a couple of eggs that she came up with somewhere.
Don't eat it.
And this was not long after Amy's experiment with the black egg.
Okay,
Did you get that?
Not made of glass.
Have the jacket back.
And of course, she got it all over the hoodie. I'm still not sure where she found
Pretty
those.
good chance that's not a 100-year-old egg, but it wasn't exactly
Take a
fresh
drink.
either.
And, outside here, and now this is into the this is an old cellar. A tree had fallen and blocked the entrance, and we didn't see any way we could get in and out of there. But I'm going to hold the camera down. That's something I actually posted on my Facebook page
Oh man, yeah.
here a while back to see if anybody noticed anything. Didn't really get any kind of response, so I don't know if Pickle's going to scare Layne here in a minute too. Well,
Yeah.
you're going to get a sudden screech. But I do manage to put the camera down there and get inside the cellar. And I want you to look on the back wall. That's not quite it yet, but you can kind of see it there. Look at the shadows bouncing around. Okay, there's Pickle scaring Layne. You see all the old bottles, but look at
String or a piece of cloth.
all that odd movement in the back. And at first I thought, well, maybe that's just them walking around on top of the...
It will show up on the video better than.
the cellar and the shadow coming through the cracks in the top or something. But that's an awful lot of movement. And then when you pull it up, you see they're not really moving around or anything. So I don't know if maybe I picked up a little something there. If it was,
Can we even go any farther?
if it was something, if it wasn't something.
Okay.
And we're looking over at another property there. They were wanting to get over. There's an old barn over there, but there's a fence right there, and I'm pretty sure that's somebody else's property. And
Tool shed over there.
didn't know how good of how good of an idea it would be to get over there, and then
A garage there.
of course I didn't see a clear way to get over there and to get back. That was an important thing too, is being able to get back out. And we said we might try and go back out there sometime. We never did make it. Now, like I say, you would never be able to do a nighttime investigation in that house anyway. It'd just be way too dangerous, and it's probably in condition now it's too dangerous to go into at all. So I'm looking around seeing if maybe there's an easier way to get there. I just didn't see one.
No, we had to walk. Thinking.
The ground was really soft out there too.
Get back here. I didn't get any video because I couldn't hold the camera and maneuver through all that stuff at the same time.
Yeah, that's how we got in. Where getting out was a lot easier because we just walked around. So I don't know whose property that is, but you know, nobody's ever done anything with the house. And I said last time I drove by there, it looked like maybe more of that roof in the living room had started to come down. And probably another year, the thing may just collapse on itself. But
I didn't really pay that much attention to that side. The ground's really soft right there. And yeah.
okay, well that was a pretty simple one. Like I said, I don't know if this was a good idea or not, but that was
Okay.
that was the abandoned house in Spanish Fort from April of 2018. Still a cool looking house though.
So creepy from the outside.
I did hear a knock.
Yeah, we did hear a knock in there a couple of times. Or that may have been the house just about to fall in on us.
And of course, Pickle was there for another day or two, and we did a couple of other videos. Went out to Belknap Bridge with him in Spanish Fort Cemetery. This is actually when we were coming back from Spanish Fort Cemetery.
Cool looking house, though.
But that was the abandoned house in Spanish Fort, Texas. I hope you enjoyed this little commentary. As I said, I don't know if this is a good idea or not, but if you're struggling for some content, actually feel free to steal the idea. And all right, well, just real quick, coming up next week, probably got a trip that I took to Tucker Tower and the nature center there in between Ardmore on Lake Murray and between Ardmore and Marietta, Oklahoma. That's just right before all of this stuff started, and we'll have another YouTube suggestions coming up. Okay, hopefully you enjoyed this. As I said, I don't know if it's a good idea or not. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.